All right, so let's get started. First of all, we're going to file and then new, and then we're going to set the size for business card. Actually, I'm going to use the inches, and then I'm going to set here to 3.5, and the height is going to be 2. That is the standard size for business card. All right, so I'm going to click OK, and then actually I'm using this. I'm going to use a particular logo over here, that is Alliance in Motion AIM Global. Right, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to select my rectangle, and then I'm going to draw a rectangle from here. You can decide on how long you want the rectangle to be like. So you draw the first rectangle over here, and then here we're going to place our logo over there. Basically, I'm going to pick the colors for my logo. So I want to bring the logo in first in order to make sure I have the actual colors to be used. So I bring the logo over here, and then I transform it to fit very well. So in this place, you can also replace your logo over there. The reason why I said I'm extracting everything, that is the colors from this logo, that is why I actually brought it in first. So I'll go back to my rectangle, double click on here, and then I'm going to change the color. So what I do is I'll place my cursor on this one. It basically switches the tool to the eyedropper tool, so you can pick that color over there. So I pick it up from here, and then I think this is too bright, a little too bright for me, so let me try to go down small like that, or let's say something like this. Right, I think this looks good. Okay, so let's try and position this one over here and that one too. Okay, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to pick the rectangle tool again, and then I'm going to draw another rectangle, but this time around it is going to cover this place. So I'm going to change the color to white. I just want it to cover this particular place for me. So this is how it is going to be like. So it is basically creating some sort of design for me, right? Okay, so next I'll go back to my rectangle, and then I duplicate it by pressing Ctrl J. So I'll pick the rectangle beneath it. So if you press Ctrl T and then you rotate it small, you're going to see that you have the other one switch over here, but then since it is also blue color, you can't actually see it. So what we do is we double click on that too, and then we pick the second color. So it is more or less like a blue and yellow, a blue and green color. Okay, so let's try to go like this. Also, we don't want that much green, so we can rotate this one also very small like that, and there you go. So it creates some sort of design for you. Additionally, you can also create another rectangle over here, press Ctrl T, and then you rotate that rectangle also. So this is what you have. Okay, so we change the color from green to the blue color, and then we try to rotate it small. It is more or less like trying to give it a unique design. It's not anything big deal. You can just leave it if you want your design to be very simple and plain. So I'm going to duplicate that also, and then press Ctrl T to transform it, and then I'll place it somewhere here. Okay, so that one I'm going to change the color back to this one to green, so that I will have something like this, and then I'll place it beneath it so that it will be like this. So it gives you basically like a design. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do, we're going to place our text. So I'm going to select the text tool, and then I'm going to start to type over here, but then I'm going to use the font Helvetical Inserat. I'll put the link in the description so you can check it out. And then I'm going to type the name, that is the first name. So probably let me use my name for this one. So afterwards, I press Ctrl T to transform it very neatly. It depends on how you just want to arrange your name and stuff. You just have to do it like this. And then over here, since we are using AIM Global, what we're going to do is we're going to write here, let's say distributor, right? So distributor like that, and then I'm going to change the font to Akrobat, and I'm going to use the semi bold or bold, either of them. So you try to position that one also somewhere around here. So you take your time to position it. I'm just using the colors that will reflect to their logo, right? So if you are using, let's say, a red and white logo, you can just change the colors to make it up. All right, so next we're going to add a telephone location and then probably an email. And then I have these things, these symbols over here. Actually, I downloaded them from Google some time ago, but then I lost them, so I just picked it up from one of my works. But you can type, let's say, phone shapes and other stuff. You can get them on Google. Okay, so I'm going to select these two, that is the shape and this one, and I'm going to send them over here. So what I do is I change the color to white so that it will be more visible for everyone to see. And then I'm going to select the two. I'm going to transform it down like this. And then I'll go back to my shapes and then I'll pick this particular. We're going to use this for the email. In case you don't have, you are using a different color and then you want to give it a color, you just right click on this, you rasterize the layer, you go to blending option and then color overlay, and then you can make it a color, or you can give it a color, a different color that you want, just like that. So in this case I'm using white, so I'm good to go. I can maintain it that way. I'm going to need the help of my rulers to draw a very clean alignment for this one. I'm giving it a very clean alignment, so I want to make sure that all these are in line. And then I'm going to bring this one down over here and then send my shape, the location shape, over here. So I'm going to change that one to blue so that the location will be somewhere different from the rest. Okay, so next I'm going to add text to this. So the phone, that is the call, and then the email and everything. So what I do is I go back to pick my text tool and I start to type. So once you're done, you press Ctrl T to transform it basically like that, and then we're going to change this one to something, let's say, semi-bold, right, so that it wouldn't be all that bold just like the other one. So afterwards you can position it over here. Let me send this one up small like here. So you take this one to up over there, and then you press Ctrl T to make a duplicate, and then you bring it here, and then here you're going to type in your email. In this case I'm using my other email. Now after this, what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this one also, and then we send it over here. But this time around we're going to change the color so that it wouldn't be white, so we'll change the color to blue in order to fit that particular color, since that place is already white. So we're going to change this one also to, let's say, university. All right, so you take your time to position that one to over here, so it reads like your contact over here, your email, and then your location. So that will be basically it. You are done with your business card. Now the real question is, how do you represent it on a mock-up to make it look more appealing, especially if you are presenting it as a portfolio or something like that, to make it quite attractive for people to look at it? Well, I'm going to take you through that one. So let's quickly go to the folder over here. I have a couple of mockups over here. The one thing is you can actually download an editable mockup online, but I don't want us to go that way. We are just going to use these particular mockups. They are not editable, they are basically like pictures. Okay, so let's drag one of them in here, and then let's post, or let's place it over here. So these are the mockup. It has already been arranged. What we are going to do is that we're going to place our image on top over here to make it look like it belongs to us. Of course, this was downloaded from this particular site, so I'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. Now this is how you go about it. First of all, in this case you have to make sure you have an image size that is very high, the resolution, because when you download it from online it is very low, so you have a resolution that is higher. So let's go about 200, so that what we're going to do, it wouldn't affect our image. So the first thing you do is you pick your pen tool, okay, and then you make sure that you have here to be shaped, right? And then you start to draw. So you are drawing basically, or you are tracing over the edges of these particular business cards. So you start from here, and then you get to the very tip, the very edge, and then you click there too. So you come to this place, and then you left click over there. I'm basically left clicking, so you get to this point too, and then you left click, and then you come back to the initial point. So here it has created a shape for you. Okay, you can actually change the color anyhow you want it. It has created a shape for you. But how do you actually fill this particular shape with your business card? All right, so let's move to the next step. You right click on the shape that has been created and you convert it to a smart object. Okay, so when you convert it to a smart object, this is what you see, or this is what you have. So you double click on the smart object, and then it opens in another document for you. All right, so let's go back to our image. You can first of all save this as a JPEG on your desktop or anywhere, or you can use the shortcut Shift Control Alt and then E to create a merge, like you merge it all together. So if you move it around, this is what moves. So you send it over to the shape that you've created. All right, so what we're going to do from here is that we're going to transform this particular image to fit the shape that we've created. So we can do that by first of all transforming this one, and then you try to rotate it like that over here, and then you take your time too. But if you don't want to stress yourself and you want to save some time, after pressing Ctrl T, you right click and you go to distort. Okay, so distort, what you're going to do is you're going to drag this area to that point. You drag this area also to that point. You just basically be dragging it to the various edges, and then you drag this one to here. So it gives you the very size that you want. So this is what we are having now. You just have to make sure none of the areas are lacking. You just have to take your time. Because of this tutorial, like we will maintain this one, but when you're doing it, you just have to take your time. So you take OK from here, and then you press Ctrl S to save. So if you watch my video on either smart object or mockups, you can see, or you can relate to this one. So let's right click on this and go to close. So when you get back to our business card, this is what we have. Isn't that amazing? So you can take the same procedure, the same step in doing for this one. After doing everything, you can turn off this background, and then you can replace it. You can basically press Ctrl J to duplicate this, and then you shift it out small like that. You press again, and then you shifting it so that it creates one for yourself. And then afterwards, when you add a background to it, like let's say this one, you're going to see that, let me send this to the down there, you can see that it has been creating the mockups for you. So that is how you can design a business card and create a mockup for yourself. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, let me know in the comment section what are your thoughts, and in case you try this out, don't forget to share it up on our page, Facebook page, or you can email it anyhow, and then we talk about that. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video, and sorry for keeping this very long. I hope you got something really cool from this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll get back to you with another one. So it's Innocent here. Bye.